Welcome to the Mind Vault. If you've ever wondered why you do what you do, this channel is for you. We unlock the psychology behind your patterns, habits, and thoughts.
We need to talk about something huge, a massive shift in how we experience life that's happened just in the last decade or so. I'm talking about a fundamental rewiring of childhood, something that happened so fast we barely even noticed. This goes way beyond just new gadgets. It's about a whole new way of growing up. So let's get right into it. This quote from Jonathan Haidt just nails it. Sometime between 2010 and 2015, the world changed. The kind of play-based childhood that pretty much all of humanity experienced for thousands of years, well, it ended. And it was replaced by something totally new, something we'd never tested, the phone-based childhood. And what does that actually look like? Well, it looks like this number, 4.8 hours. A 2023 study found that's how much time a teenager spends on social media every single day. This isn't just a habit, you know? It's the environment they live in. It's the water they swim in. So how in the world did we get here? The honest answer is, we kind of just stumbled into it. We basically ran the largest, most uncontrolled experiment in human history on our own kids. And we're only now, years later, starting to really look at the results. Just look at the difference. Let's compare these two worlds. On one side, you have the play-based childhood. It was all about unsupervised, sometimes risky, real-world interactions. You learned by doing, by falling down. On the other side, we have the phone-based childhood. It's about being pacified, often isolated, living inside a virtual world. It's two totally different operating systems for becoming a human being. Now, a lot of this was driven by a desire to keep kids safe. But here's the deep, deep irony. By supposedly making them safer in a digital world, we've created a generation that's way less capable of handling the real one. They take fewer risks, both the good kind and the bad. They don't learn how to manage small everyday anxieties, so those anxieties they blow up into something much bigger. And this quote really explains how we let it happen. It was just so convenient, right? Parents were relieved. Here was this magic device that could keep a kid quiet and occupied for hours. Was it safe? Like Haidt says, nobody had a clue. But it worked, and everyone else was doing it, so it just became normal. But make no mistake, this digital cage wasn't just some accident of history. It had architects. It was designed, in many ways, with a clear purpose. And to really get that, we have to look at the philosophy and the psychology that built it. The French philosopher Jacques Ellul gave us the key to unlock this. He had a concept he called technique. Now, this isn't just about technology, like phones and computers. It's a whole mindset. It's this relentless, all-consuming drive for absolute efficiency in every single part of life. And when efficiency becomes your only god, you start to prefer clean, predictable, artificial systems over messy, real, natural ones. That is the mindset that builds a cage. And here's technique in action, applied directly to our brains. Social media companies use a whole psychologist toolkit to get us hooked. These apps are literally designed like slot machines, feeding us constant little rewards, always something new. They are built to trigger our emotions, and, most importantly, they intentionally exploit the fact that a teenager's frontal cortex, the part for impulse control, isn't fully developed yet. It's psychological warfare for your attention. So where does this path of technique ultimately lead? What's the end game? Well, this quote from Elon Musk is pretty eye-opening. For some of the most powerful architects of this world, the goal isn't just to keep you glued to a screen. It's to achieve a full-on symbiosis with AI. The final goal of technique is to merge the human with the machine. Okay, so we've seen the blueprints of the cage. Now let's talk about what it actually does to us. What does it do to the human mind to live inside this thing? What are the real neurological and psychological costs? The psychiatrist Ian McGilchrist gives us a brilliant way to understand this. He talks about our two brain hemispheres. Think of them as two different ways of paying attention to the world. The right hemisphere is broad, open, intuitive. It's connected to actual lived reality. The left hemisphere is the opposite. It's narrow, focused. It's all about utility and control. And our modern, screen-based life almost exclusively trains and rewards the left hemisphere's way of seeing things. And the price we pay for that imbalance is enormous. The great psychologist Carl Jung warned about this. He said this kind of compulsive, narrow focus literally cuts us off from the deep well of the unconscious. It walls us off from the very source of symbols, dreams, and stories that have given humanity meaning for, well, forever. So let's be crystal clear about what's at stake here. By severing that connection to the unconscious, we're creating a generation that's psychologically fragile, untethered from its own foundations. As Jung saw it, when you lose contact with those deep roots, you lose the map to your own inner world. You're left adrift. So, what happens when an entire society is populated by these rewired, disconnected minds? What kind of world does that create? Well, you get a society of deep, pervasive, and desperate loneliness. The political philosopher Hannah Arendt saw this coming a long time ago. She understood that loneliness, this feeling of not belonging to the world at all, was transforming from a rare condition into the defining experience of modern life. And she issued a killing warning. This state of being makes people incredibly vulnerable to totalitarian ideas. This loneliness wasn't an accident either. It's the result of a process that's been going on for centuries. As you can see here, back in the Middle Ages, community came from real, tangible things: guilds, local churches, merchant leagues. But then, over the 19th and 20th centuries, the state started to slowly absorb and replace all those local groups. And today, the state is the main source of order, leaving us as a population of disconnected, atomized individuals. And here is the terrible trade-off that we made. We gave up genuine, small-scale community, and that loss created widespread anxiety and alienation. So what did we get in return? The illusion of belonging that comes from mass political movements. The lonely individual, desperate for connection, tries to find it in the huge, impersonal state. And that creates the perfect conditions for manipulation and control. Okay, so we've laid out the cage, we've met the architects, we've seen the consequences. It's a pretty heavy picture. But this is not a story of despair. This is a call to action. So now we turn to the great escape. And the way out isn't about new technology. It's something much deeper. It's personal and it's philosophical. Step 1, as the great Ralph Waldo Emerson told us, is an act of pure rebellion, nonconformity. It means you have to consciously see the easy path that society wants you to walk, the path of distraction and obedience. And then you have to actively choose to walk the other way. It all starts with the choice to be an individual. The second step is to reclaim solitude. And I'm not talking about the isolating loneliness of the masses. I mean real, intentional solitude. As the writer Dostoevsky found out when he was in prison, this is the only space where true self-transformation can actually happen. It's where you can look at yourself honestly and forge, as he put it, your own special contract with life itself. And the final step, the thing that holds it all together, comes from Carl Jung. You have to find an anchor. You have to connect with something bigger than your own ego. Call it God, call it a transcendent inner experience, call it what you will. But without that anchor, Jung believed, you have absolutely no defense against the pressures and temptations of the mass world. So, let's bring this all home. The phone-based childhood, the lonely society, this whole digital cage, it wasn't just built. It was built for you. The forces of technique, efficiency, and control are all designed to define your reality for you. And so, the final question really isn't for me to answer. It's for you. Will you build your own exit?
If this opened your eyes, imagine what else is hiding in your mind. Don't forget to subscribe for weekly episodes that decode your brain, one pattern at a time. And if something clicked today, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Until next time, stay curious.